Hello, I'm Sam. Welcome to the Ball Watching FC podcast, and episode 3 begins with, let's face it, something that applies to every single team at the World Cup this summer. There's a chance we could win the World Cup. Maybe. England are ready. How was that friendly for you? How was Costa Rica winning 3-0? Brilliant scoreline. Brilliant performance. I really do rate the performance. From my perspective, I am so happy with where England are right now. We should have scored more, for sure. I saw quick, direct passing. Quite a lot, like really high pressing, kind of exactly what I wanted to see. And I feel like I'll say this a lot over the summer. This isn't Gareth Southgate's England anymore. Gareth Southgate took us to an amazing place, which I absolutely loved. But this is Tuchel's England now. And you can see it. There's an expression, there's an openness, there's a directness, there's speed. And I don't think we saw it all the time yesterday, but there was enough there for me to think, I really like this. This feels really good. We're not sitting back and holding on. We're not defending first anymore. We're on the attack. And I know it's Costa Rica and I know it's New Zealand, but I wouldn't be surprised if we really take the game to Croatia if you don't see a kind of nervousness about England in their first game. I think I'm feeling optimistic. I always am feeling optimistic when it comes to England just before a World Cup. But I really think we could perform really well. And one question I thought of as well is, when's the ideal time to hit form for the World Cup? It's probably not right now, right? I mean, I'm thinking about, did Spain lose to Switzerland in their first game in 2010 or 2012? 4 years ago, Argentina lost their first game 2-1 to Saudi Arabia. They won the World Cup. So when's the right time to hit form? You could argue with certain teams in the past, you don't need to be on form right now. There'll be a national outcry if we don't perform well against Croatia, but you don't need it right now. And is it fine if we perform well against Croatia? I think that's overthinking things. I'm not even going to think like that. One question I had, I got a lot of questions. Did Nico O'Reilly look nervous yesterday? I thought he looked a little bit nervous at left back. And I think the first friendly he played at midfield, so I'm not really going to count that. But there were a few moments where the ball came to him and his first touch wasn't quite at it. And maybe that's just me overthinking things and really scrutinising his performance. But I looked at Elliot Anderson and he looked calm and assured and confident. And it was almost a swagger about him. But I'm a massive Elliot Anderson fan anyway, so I'm going to say that. But I don't know, just something about Nico O'Reilly. I didn't see enough of him. And when I did, I wasn't sure how calm and composed he looked. But maybe that's just me. What do you think? By the way, as well, I found this out in the last 24 hours. Did you know every single team to win the World Cup, in the men's and women's World Cup, the manager has always been the same nationality of the country they've managed? That's mental. So England could be a first here. They could be. I don't think they will. Come on, let's be optimistic. But that rules out Brazil as well with Ancelotti. But it doesn't rule out teams like France, Spain, Argentina again, Germany, Netherlands, Scotland? Oh, it's all over the floor. Hey, it's Mess of the Week again. Didn't realise we'd come around to this so soon. I'm just going to read a little quote from someone. Guess who it is? Maybe sometimes it's good as well just to, chill. Relax. That was Infantino, the head of FIFA, who's in charge of the World Cup. So that was his response to basically the media saying, hey, it's a bit of a mess. It's a bit of a massive world mess that all this news about the World Cup is just a bit of a farce. It was weird. We should have chilled and relaxed. We forgot to do that. That's our bad. Sorry, Infantino. That is good advice. One thing he said was that he's not in control of what the USA does, which I get. You can't be in control of a country. But at the same time, if your country's bidding to host a World Cup, you've got to be inclusive. You're a host. You want to be a good host. So whoever gets into the World Cup finals and comes to your country, you've got to be a good host. You wanted to be a host, so be a host. It's mad, and I realise you can't tell the future, because when America and Mexico and Canada got picked to be the host, America weren't at war with Iran, and that changed. So you can't predict the future, but at the same time, you gotta figure it out. You've gotta realise that you are the host nation. The eyes of the world are on you, and unfortunately, what the world is seeing are these huge news stories about this Somalian referee. The fallout of that has been amazing, by the way. He was treated like a hero when he came back to his country, and he's been picked for the UEFA Super Cup. So he's going to be refereeing PSG versus Aston Villa, which is brilliant. That's like UEFA saying, FIFA, see what we can do. We treat people equally. I don't know. And I don't want to get into a political debate about it all. But it is a mess. And, my biggest hope, and I'm sure this will happen, is once the football starts, we won't think about the mess. It's important to recognise what a mess it is and the messages you get from that. But once the football starts, I am sure we'll just focus on the football, and it will be a good World Cup. Every World Cup is a good World Cup. That's something I really want to remind us of. It's the World Cup. It's time to get excited, because every single World Cup, there is always a moment or three or more that lives on in history. So the next month and a half, what we're about to witness will be remembered forever. And it'll be on those lists of 50 craziest World Cup things. A couple are going to happen in the next month, and that is guaranteed. And that's sort of where I wanted to leave this, really. I just want to, if I could convey a message to you, directly to you, I implore you to enjoy the next month and a half. Be proud. Be proud of our boys. Be proud to be English. Have faith in them. Be optimistic. Show pessimism, optimism. Help each other out if they're not feeling the faith. Don't follow the crowd, and if there's a bad performance in there or anything like that happens, if Noni Madueke misses another sitter, support them. Don't worry about it. It'll be okay. They're our boys. Be proud of them. This is when I feel the most patriotic. And let's just hope for the best. That's all we need to do. My mantra at the moment is low expectations, high hopes. And that's what I see the World Cup as. Either way, we're going to get to watch the best teams in the world, the best players in the world play football. And that's a privilege and an honour. So, enjoy it, you idiot. If you enjoyed this podcast, please please subscribe, please interrupt someone mid-sentence and just yell in their face, "Ball Watching FC Podcast," then run away from them, and please join me next time.